So I had a few days with the drone and I'm liking what I'm getting out of it so far. Now that I'm learning how to use it. Here we have a helix rotating shot that's right behind the skate park. It's the little walking trail behind the skate park that goes river on two sides. And and here I am. I'm just using the regular follow me feature that I really didn't have a good experience with when I was in the bowl, but here it's a little bit more because it's wide open, and I'm not really cutting directions. Right here I do cut directions and it does lose me a bit, but it picks me back up as it rotates. And here coming around the clamshell, and it kind of loses me a little bit, but it rotates and picks me up. And I'm the only one at the park, so I don't really have anything here to confuse it. um So it's really tracking me really well, and it's giving me a far track from behind. It's not having problems like it did when I was in the tight quarters of the bowl and I kept changing direction. As long as you give it enough and you go rather slow enough, then it's okay. Here I go again. I'm trying using the regular tracking, and it comes down, kind of loses me a little, but it turns around, picks me back up. And then once I come around the bowl part here, it kind of loses me again, just like when I was in the regular bowl. But it picks me back up because it does a full rotation. Come around the clamshell again, it loses me. And then it looks at the bush because the breeze was blowing the bush, and it started tracking that. So that's one of the problems that it has, because it tracks with the camera and not actually like a sensor. So any movement that's by it, if it loses you a little bit, it just snaps onto the next thing. Here I am, I'm using a wider track. This one is the helix, but it tracks you still overhead. So you notice it backs up and it starts turning. And I started going on my regular run in the clamshell, but it's getting higher and higher, so it kind of tracks me all the way through. Then it gets overhead and then it loses me right there. I tried to do it again from a different spot, seeing what would happen. So now it's in the middle of the park, so it's got a full range to track me overhead, and it does a pretty good job tracking me from that far. It does lose me a little bit because of the wind. It's a small drone, it fits in your pocket, so that's bound to happen. So it loses you with the wind, but it tracks you pretty well. Here I am using the same helix shot, doing overhead from a different position, and doing my same old line that I do all the time. That's my local park, and that's my line. So coming through the shell, and it goes overhead, tracks me, but then it loses me. But it picks me back up a little bit later when I was coming front side. When I went back around, it picked me up again. If there was other people at the park that day, that wouldn't happen. Here I am taking another line where I'm going back way. I go over the volcano here, and just in that clamshell right there, and then I go back over, but it picks up the guy on the bench. It lost me, and it picked up this guy at the bench, just who was just sitting there watching, and it just sat there. And then I had to, use the phone to control it to bring it back, to override it, because it just would not move. I'm waving, it wouldn't pick up. So I tried again, seeing what would happen. Same backwards, over the volcano here, through the back clamshell. Then I go up and over the volcano again. I come back to the A-frame, but it kind of lost me a little bit, but it tracked me pretty well, because that's not a big run, it's not a long run. And hear me calling for the drone. It sees your hand, and then it starts coming towards you, and then it lands in your hand. So I tried again, see this one. So back down the A-frame, over the volcano, through the clamshell there, over the volcano again, and it's tracking pretty good up the A-frame. I was just coming back over the A-frame, and it does circle around and catches me up, takes me over the A-frame, takes me over the crescent and front side. So it picked me up. It kept up with me. So I think I have some things that will work. You know, as I've been using it more, I'm liking it more. You know, I picked up the bush again.